Welcome to episode 86 of I Know What You Watched Last Week, Highway Edition. First movie we watched this week is considered to be, much like The Highway, highly influential. You know, that's what highways are, aren't they?
No.
Oh,
Are they?
Maybe I'm confused.
Autobahn.
Secondly, we watched a movie that I had never heard of but was more than pleasantly surprised. And third, another movie that I'd never heard of with what could be considered a heavyweight cast but looked to be a TV movie. So without further ado, what are the Highway special films?
Yes, we started with Hitcher.
The Hitcher, original Hitcher.
The Hitcher.
From 86, yeah, not the Sean Bean remake.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, then we saw Highway to Hell.
With no sign of AC/DC whatsoever.
Oh, that's a shame though. That would have just put it right over the top.
I doubt they could afford it.
And thirdly, we saw Highway Hitcher.
Yeah, Highway Hitcher. See what we did there? You know, got the Hitcher, Highway to Hell, Highway Hitcher, Highway Special.
I think.
Good.
Yeah, I think they get it.
To rub it in.
It's the roll-in special.
No, that's enough now. What did you vote for?
Okay, this was actually really hard because I thought they were all really entertaining in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And each one has like a slightly different prize from me for best of. But I think I'm going to go. Sorry, I think you're going to be completely different. I'm going to go third place to The Hitcher. Second place, Highway to Hell. And my first place goes to Highway Hitcher. I really liked it. Yeah.
I need a moment.
I had a feeling you might react like that.
In third place, Highway Hitcher.
Yeah.
Even though I did enjoy it, I might have even enjoyed it more than my second place, The Hitcher, but I can't in good conscience put Highway Hitcher above The Hitcher. And in first place, I've gone Highway to Hell.
I knew that was going to be your top place. I absolutely knew it. Yeah. Shall I just quickly say what my little individual prizes are?
You don't want to say them during the review of the movies, though?
No.
Okay.
The Hitcher had my top most watchable performance.
Rutger Hauer.
Is he the bad guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something fascinating about his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Rutger. You do know he's Batty, right? From Blade Runner, the one who makes that epic speech at the end in the pouring rain. No? Okay.
Unless we watched it, I haven't seen Blade Runner.
Okay.
Then the...
You really have no business reviewing movies then, do you?
No, and yet here I am.
Yeah. It's okay, I'm your passport.
The most hilarious, obviously, Highway to Hell. And biggest surprise of the week was Highway Hitcher. Yeah.
Right, so let's start. Let's do your order then.
My order?
Yeah, so let's go with your third place, which was The Hitcher.
Which I can't believe, because it was great.
Great, yeah. It doesn't sound like it, since you put it in third place to blow a TV movie and something that I've never even heard of before.
Yeah, I suppose, so if you know us from watching any of our stuff, you may know that along with last week's space thing not being my favourite, I also have a thing for not particularly enjoying a lot of road trip horrors.
And that's why you put The Hitcher bottom.
The Hitcher, I just felt like there was a little bit too much just driving along, and certain things that just frustrated me, which I think took it away from being top spot.
Frustrated you in the terms of Jimmy's
what was he doing?
His decisions.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. C. Thomas Howell, of course, in that. Yeah, so Hitcher 1986. You can obviously see how this is a highly influential movie. Right, think of all the highway movies that have come out. People would say Duel by Steven Spielberg. This is probably the one after it.
Oh, I didn't like that one. Duel.
No, I wasn't a fan of Duel because it's too tame.
I was
It's
also
far
just
too
a
tame.
bit bored.
Yeah, this is not a movie enjoyed by the critics, The Hitcher, but
Really?
the people loved it. Of course, as critics don't know anything. Mainstream critics
Idiots.
know nothing about what makes a good film, what makes an entertaining film. And a big complaint from the mainstream critics was, which I find baffling, it's too extreme in its violence. And like,
What?
there's barely any violence in this.
It's
All of violence is
implied
implied.
violence.
Exactly, it's implied violence. Yeah.
Which again took it down a notch for me. There were certain things where if they'd shown us, I would have been like, well, that's something I probably haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty sick. But
A lot of I'm sure that a lot of our audience have probably seen The Hitcher, and for me, it's the opening, say, 13 minutes or so, I feel are the best part of the movie, where Jimmy picks up John
yeah.
on the side of the road, and he gets in the car, and it's all that wonderful dark lighting, and it's kind of like Rutger Hauer as John isn't really saying much during the conversation. Young naive Jimmy,
Yeah.
is trying to get him to talk and open up and stuff, and he's just being weird and
He's just being silent.
yeah, he is, and
Which is very annoying because he's not answering any questions.
very intimidating. Apparently, C. Thomas Howell found Rutger Hauer very intimidating, actually, in real life, because he was doing that thing of like staying in character and not interacting in between scenes and things like that, which you can kind of tell.
Doesn't
He has those piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have turkey teeth. He's got proper teeth. He looks menacing. He's what you would call, or what they call in the business, a character actor. Someone we don't get too much of these days. Which is, I was about to say, it's a huge shame we don't get guys like this. And I've got examples of that in all three movies of guys who you'd consider character actors. But as I was saying, that the first 13 minutes or so, that interaction when John is telling Jim, the car we just passed, I cut the man's legs off, cut his arms off, cut his head off, and I'm going to do exactly the same to you. And then he puts the knife to his cheek and stuff like that. That bit is exhilarating, and it's dark, and it's violent in its dialogue. And after that, because the film goes a bit OTT after that, it loses some of the intimacy that I really enjoyed in the opening.
Interesting. I was trying to figure out the psychology behind their actions, mostly Rutger Hauer's actions and his character, because during that bit that you just mentioned, he obviously says, I want you to stop me, right? That's what he wants when he's asked, what do you want? And then he's trying to get him to say, I want to die. Mm-hmm. And then obviously he gets kicked out, and then for the rest of the film...
But when he kicks him out, though, you see Thomas Howell's reaction to that.
Well, it was about time as well, because I thought when they were stopped by the road workers and stuff, there was something more he could have done, or even previously I was like, for God's sake.
The road workers bit was good, actually, because obviously John Rutger Hauer has a knife at Jimmy's crotch. So when the road worker looks in, he kind of spots that his hand is by his crotch, and he's like, "Oh, move along, sweethearts." I just love it when Rutger Hauer's like to the road worker, "Yes, we are a couple." He doesn't give a shit, does he?
Yeah, it's a bizarre couple though, just with their ages. I would have thought there's maybe something a bit strange going on there.
Anyway, so when Jimmy does manage to throw John out the car, we get kind of a few things later, straight afterwards, or the next morning it must be, because it's light now. He shows up in a family's car, which gets in front of Jimmy's, because Jimmy's pew pew, he's shooting the kids in the car, play shooting and stuff like that.
No, he's really shooting.
There's a teddy bear, and all of a sudden we see the teddy bear move, and there's Rutger Hauer, looking menacing.
It's like he's playing peekaboo.
So Jimmy tries to warn the people driving the car. Obviously, it doesn't go well for him because he ends up clipping a coach and drives off. And the thing is, he's going to keep coming back. You know what's going to happen, but it still keeps you kind of engaged, doesn't it?
Well, I think there's something supernatural about the Hitcher in this, because
you think Rutger Hauer was supernatural?
I'm only joking, but because he just always seems to be getting in front of, what did you say our main guy's called?
Jimmy and John.
Jimmy and John. So John always seems to be getting ahead of Jimmy, even though Jimmy is consistently driving, and John is being kicked out of the car, then he has to wait for someone to pick him up. And they're a family. I don't think they're pressing on the gas more than Jimmy would be. Just stuff like this. So I know it's not actually supernatural, but it did make me a bit oh, he's managed to get ahead of him, okay.
Whereas I like the the more intimate nature, the intimacy of the opening where they're both in the car together. Of course, it's the 80s, so now we just get action, 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 don't we? So, like, Jimmy sees a victim's car, he goes out and looks at the site, he pukes at the sight of what's happening
It's
there.
the family,
Again,
isn't it?
implied.
Yeah.
You don't see anything apart
No.
from a bit of blood dripping. He comes to like a mechanic's barn, tries to make a call. John appears, throws him his keys, and he kind of like just walks away thinking, what is he doing? John then hitches a ride with some other poor unsuspecting souls.
Yeah.
And as Jimmy drives on, he's then rear-ended by John in his truck, like keeps bumping into the back of him. And then the Hitcher, Rutger Hauer, just goes off-road, like after intimidating him. Comes to him later on at a petrol station and just covers Jimmy in petrol.
Yeah.
Slowly lights a match and like flicks it towards him. Of course, it's the 80s, so Jimmy gets away into his car, but as he's driving away, huge explosion, and he's driving away in his flaming car.
Yeah.
Because when you have a highway movie, you just got to fill things with a bit of action, haven't you?
Well, yeah,
Otherwise
otherwise it'd be
driving.
so boring
Yeah.
for someone like me anyway. But
Yeah.
I didn't understand fully, like I said, I was thinking about the psychology of what John was after, because he's like, oh, I want you to stop me.
Mm-hmm.
He does get stopped. Then he seems to make it his mission to just terrorise Jimmy. But a lot of the times, like, he could have killed Jimmy, but he doesn't. But then in this one, it seems he is trying to kill him with the fire. Jimmy gets away. Do you think John wanted him to get away, or was John genuinely trying to off him at that point?
No, and we'll get to why he's not letting him get away. Because, you know, when he flicks the match, he obviously pauses. He could have just flicked it down straight away. Stuff like this. He lets Jimmy get away.
So he is letting Jimmy get away.
At this point, yeah. He ends after this action, this explosive action, this fire action. Jimmy, he gets to a diner covered in petrol, but it's shut. Jennifer Jason Leigh as Nash, who's working at the diner, she lets him in though. He goes and washes up. They start talking. She is friendly and makes him a burger, stuff like this. But as he's eating, there's a severed finger in his fries. Oh no, how's that got there?
I don't know.
How has that got there?
Has John somehow beat him again?
I'm also thinking, you know,
And whose finger is it?
Nash knows that Jimmy's come into this place covered in petrol.
Yeah.
And it just lights up a cigarette in the diner.
Well,
and
she
she's
does
smoking
say,
away.
because he goes to the bathroom and cleans himself up in the sink, doesn't he? And then she's like, "Oh, I guess now it's safe for
I
me
wouldn't trust the
But-
cleansing of myself in a standing up at a sink in a bathroom to have
No,
got
and
rid of all
unless
the
he's
petroleum.
changed his whole outfit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she likes to play with fire. Dangerous girl.
Yeah, well, because there's all this carnage has been left all across the highway, of course the cops show, and Nash has previously said, you know, the cops around here, they don't show up for nothing, they're like really slow and stuff, but to come and get Jimmy,
Oh yeah, but he called them,
pop
didn't
up.
he, to be like,
he does, yeah.
to report what's been going on.
Yeah. When they show up though, they arrest him. They arrest Jimmy, they suspect Jimmy, and because they also found a planted knife on him, which obviously Rutger's put there.
And whilst he planted the knife, he seems to have taken Jimmy's wallet with his ID and stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff, so that he can't identify himself, which is a problem. Because when they take him away for questioning, he mentions that he's driving this car for a drive-away company, as it's called, and he's driving all the way to San Diego to give it to its new owner or whatever. So when he's being questioned, he says, you know, just call the drive-away company. Of course, they don't answer. And he's like, well, call my brother. He doesn't answer either. So they have.
You didn't let it ring.
So they have to detain him. And they lock him up. He has a little sleep for a while, has some nightmares. But when he wakes up, his cell is unlocked. So of course, after like being like, "Hello, does someone want to come and like lock me back in because I don't want to get into more trouble when I'm already in?" And realizes no one's coming. He decides to get out, takes a walk around the precinct, and sees a dog, like an Alsatian or a German Shepherd, running around. And as he gets into like the kind of the main office of the precinct, all the cops have been slain. One of them has its neck slain, and the dog is licking at the neck.
That's probably the most gory thing we actually see in the film.
That is the
isn't
most
it?
gory thing, yeah. So the violence is non-existent, really.
No.
It's pretty tame.
Yeah,
It's more
it is.
psychological, isn't it?
I was thinking at that point as well, because I was like, on the one hand, if he walks out and the cops are there and they see him, they'll be like, oh, he's trying to escape and he'll be in bigger trouble. But equally, it was actually, for once, a good idea for him to do what he did, because imagine he'd just been like, well, I'll just ignore the fact that my cell door is open and stay in here. Eventually, the new cops would have come, found all the slayings, and definitely pinned it on him.
Yeah. While he comes across the dead cops, he takes one of their guns and he runs off into the rocky terrain. He doesn't have his car anymore. And when he makes his way to like another cafe or something like that, and he sticks up 2 officers because the cops aren't listening to him. They're not taking him seriously. So he sticks up 2 officers and he makes them drive him, along the highway while they get onto their radio to call someone in charge, Captain Estridge. And Jimmy's trying to explain himself. He's like, look, I'm not really here to do any harm. But before he can really say anything though, John Rutger Hauer pulls up in his truck and blows the cops away. Who are the cops going to suspect now? But Jimmy.
They are, definitely.
Blammo.
And Rutger, John definitely seems to be trying specifically to set Jimmy up to be the scapegoat for all of this.
Of course, yeah.
But equally, when he's on the radio to the captain, John manages to be like, I'll put my trust in you. To be like, I'm going to turn myself in. I put my trust in you. And then... So the captain has heard that he is going to turn himself in. So maybe the captain is kind of like, well, why would he do that? And then shoot everyone.
Oh, you're saying that Estridge is the only one that's even slightly competent out of this police force?
Not about
because Nash is no fan either, is she?
But I just mean that maybe he's realised that it's not necessarily Jimmy.
Okay. Once this happened, he gets out the car.
Yeah.
And he kind of like... He's kind of like in despair at this point because he starts like rubbing the terrain into his hair and stuff like this, and he even puts the gun to his chin, thinks better of it, runs off again, ends up at a place called Roy's Cafe, worse for wear, goes up to the counter and just asks for coffee and whatever. As he sits down into the booth, opposite him comes John.
Was that not the same cafe though? Did he go back to the one where Nash was working? Because it looked the same to me.
Possibly.
Looked like he backtracked.
Right.
And yeah, I guess I did understand his whole toying with the idea because, sometimes when things go so wrong...
Yeah, of course, no one's going to believe him,
no one's going to believe him, so he thinks, well, I'm going to be blamed for all of this. My life is basically over anyway, maybe I should just end it, but he thinks better of it. And yeah, I really liked this interaction between Jimmy and John.
This for me is the second best scene after the opening, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. So basically, you really like the bits where Jimmy and John are together. Yeah,
they are the best bits. Well, because Rutger Hauer is the best performance in this, even though he has the smallest screen time almost. He doesn't have much screen time yet. And he makes such an impression.
Do much.
No, he doesn't need to.
It's all, in there.
Well, this is proper acting.
Acting.
Yeah, acting. Yeah, and
I loved it.
A lot of this seems improvised as well with because we got Jimmy and he's got a gun under the table and he says, look, I'm going to blow you away, John, because I've taken too much. Rutger Hauer, John just looks on the table and goes, your gun is empty. And he's like, well, how do you know this? And then he goes, well, I've got a gun too. And he literally just sticks his fingers under there and he's like, bah! Which makes Jimmy then empty his barrel, which is, well, I say empty, it is empty. So he goes... After this, Jimmy's like, why are you doing this to me? John says, you're a smart kid. Work it out. This is the improvised bit. Rutger Hauer takes 2 pennies, licks them, sticks them in the eyelids of C. Thomas Howell, Jimmy, and then just walks away, leaves Jimmy there to kind of like, he's almost on the verge of tears, and the pennies fall out of his eyes.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the psychology, so...
Yeah, when he's like, you're a smart kid, you'll work it out. I mean, I don't consider myself stupid, but I didn't work it out.
Well, the whole thing is...
You're just toying with him.
Rutger Hauer, as John, he's embodying death. Whereas I would say Jimmy is embodying life, but death always trumps life because death is always going to get you. Right? And the whole pennies thing and work it out, you're a smart kid, work it out, is he is taking away the innocence of Jimmy and he wants to turn him into a killer. I think how innocent Jimmy is in the very beginning, where even when he picks up John, he even says, my mum told me never to do this. He's all like super excited, isn't it? And we see the complete change in him. And if you go into, Greek mythology, when you would die, you'd have to pay the ferryman, and to do that you'd either put pennies underneath the tongue or in the eyelids and send them across the river Styx so that they could get to the other side. He's essentially saying, you're already dead, your life is over, and it's going to get you, and I'm also going to be turning you, you're a smart kid, work it out. He wants to turn him from this innocent kid into a killer just like he is. and he's showing just how easy it can be done. Really, that's the psychology of the movie. Yeah, pay the ferryman. Absolutely. Yeah. So now after this scene, when John walks off, a coach pulls up.
Yeah.
Jimmy sees his chance. He gets on the coach.
Uh-huh.
He gets on the coach with also. John has left Jimmy 6 bullets to put into his gun to complete the mission that really John has put him on, right? Which is stop me, end me. It's not stop me and put me in jail. It's stop me, it's end me, kill me. You know, so that he turns into the killer. When he gets onto the coach, this is kind of a weird thing because Nash is on the coach.
We did see Nash jumping off a coach to get to work.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. It's weird that Nash is on there. So when Nash gets up off of a seat, she walks back to the bathroom. As Jimmy's sitting at the back of the coach, kind of hides from her. As she steps into the bathroom, he jumps in with her, sticks a gun in her face. He's like, I didn't do it. You believe me, don't you? I was like, you could have just said this while holding her.
Yeah, he didn't have to use the gun, did he?
Without using the gun. But I guess he's so desperate and he's not really thinking too much at this point. And yes, she says that she does believe him, but he doesn't believe
You don't.
that she believes him. Yeah, you don't believe me. Obviously, the cops, they now stick up the coach. They take Jimmy off the coach, and one of the cops, he's super mad.
Yeah, because
that Jimmy has killed his friends.
Colleagues. Yeah.
So he tries a dirty trick.
Yeah, he tries to get him to do something which would allow him to shoot Jimmy, but Jimmy doesn't fall for it. He's like, look, my hands are up and I'm unarmed. Yeah, and it looks like he's about to go ahead and shoot Jimmy anyway.
What the cop does is, as he's pointing his gun at Jimmy, he says, you just spat on my wrist. Wipe it off. And he knows that the coachload of people watching, if Jimmy goes in to reach for his wrist, it almost looks like they say he's taking his gun. And the other cop is not down with is he? He's like, you can't do this, this is a dirty trick kind of thing. And then Nash all of a sudden comes out of the coach, shoots at the ground, releases Jimmy from the cops. They have a go at her. Like, you have thrown your life away, Missy. Then we get more action. Action.
Yeah. It's also, I like that it was kind of like small town America where Nash and the cops all know each other.
It's a chase shootout.
She's like, I can't believe you're about to do what you were going to do.
What about the chase shootout? It's 2 cop cars chasing, shooting all the headlights. Things
with
like
shotguns.
This. It's like Grand Theft Auto, really. And then Jimmy, he puts Nash in charge of the gun. As she goes out the window, of course, she just drops the gun straight away, kind of thing. But as the 2 cop cars come either side of Jimmy and Nash's car, he slams on the brakes and in slow motion, because it's the 80s, cars start flipping, very well shot. You see him flipping from the front, flipping from the side, flipping from the top. And then once they've demolished the 2 cars, get to the chopper comes. Who takes that down, though?
Yeah, John appears out of nowhere and shoots down the chopper. So he's actually saving Jimmy.
Again, much like Grand Theft Auto. He's not saving Jimmy, he's making sure that he can complete his mission. Because if the cops kill him, because at this point the cops are shooting to kill. They're shooting to kill because their plan was, once they get into the car, they go onto the radio and say, we're going to hand ourselves in, but they're not listening anymore.
Or it's not working.
Yeah, one of the two. After this Grand Theft Auto type police chase, they get to a motel and decide to hide out for a bit.
Oh, yeah. And obviously, Jimmy's like to Nash, don't tell anyone where we are. She's like, I just want to call my mom, just let her know I'm okay.
Don't make any phone calls.
But don't do anything. But when Jimmy goes off to have a shower, which is a good idea, she caves and she calls her mama.
Mm-hmm.
She gets off the phone, and who appears in the room? It's John!
Out of the shadows. Very nice shot again. Mm-hmm. And really, Rutger Hauer's eyes really do shine through this whole thing. So Rutger Hauer, he's got these piercing blue eyes, right?
Yeah.
He's Dutch. He is well known for making a lot of movies. I believe 5 or 6 movies with my ultimate favourite, Paul Verhoeven.
Okay.
I've only actually seen one of them called Spetters, as they say in Holland, Spetters, right? That's how they pronounce it. And they had a bit of a falling out during the first American movie that they made together. Paul Verhoeven accused Rutger Hauer of going all Hollywood, and Rutger Hauer accused Paul Verhoeven of of basically just losing control of the movie. And Paul Verhoeven says, it's one of those things, I believe my version, he believes his version.
Yeah.
It's probably something in the middle, he says. I've mentioned the piercing blue eyes.
Yeah.
Stuff like who also has piercing blue eyes. Peter Weller, who played RoboCop. Rutger Hauer was the original choice of Verhoeven to be RoboCop. and it never materialised.
I could see that.
Yeah,
Actually.
you can completely see Rutger Hauer playing RoboCop, playing Alex Murphy. He was also considered possibly too big to fit into the RoboCop suit because obviously Peter Weller's a very lithe guy, and you don't. It wouldn't have been bettered because that movie is perfect. But you can see if they're gonna replace Peter Weller with anybody, you can see Rutger Hauer would have been a pretty great choice. It's just funny how careers go. Like that, because
they've both got that ability as well as actors of being very stoic in their performances and still being just fascinating to look at.
Yeah, definitely. So that's kind of interesting. And so as you mentioned, like Rutger, he comes out of the shadows and kind of creepily just lays behind Nash and puts his hands on her and stuff like that. And while Jimmy's in the bathroom, she realizes it's him. Once Jimmy comes out, they're gone.
Yeah.
But this time, when he manages to leave the motel, the cops are there again, Estridge.
Yeah, there's loads of cops. This confused me a little bit as well as to how quickly this happened, but it doesn't matter. He's kind of like trying to find where Nash has been taken. He gets stopped by a couple of cops, but instead of like apprehending him, being
Estridge being one of them.
Right. Instead of being like, oh, we think you're guilty, now they're like, oh, we know it's not you, but we need your help. And I guess John has already said to them, I want to talk to Jimmy.
Yeah, I guess, he's going to want Jimmy. Yeah, but what's also happening?
Oh my gosh, okay. Oh my gosh. Nash has been tied between two vehicles, I think they are. Wrists and ankles. And John is in the driving seat of one of the two, and every time he lets off the brake or whatever, it's like pulling at her. Yeah, so they're like, we can't shoot him because if he dies, his foot will come off the brakes and she will be offed. So you need to get in there and talk to him.
Yeah, they tell him essentially do what you can. So then Jimmy gets into the cab of the truck, and we get again like a kind of a more intimate scene that we had at the beginning. And this time he's telling Jimmy to take the gun, pull it in my face, pull the trigger, all this stuff, but he doesn't. And because he doesn't do it, Rutger Hauer just takes his foot off the brake, and we don't see it again. It's just implied. Well, not implied. We know that she has been, crushed in between both of the vehicles.
Oh, I thought she'd been like split because they went apart.
He might have. I would have thought that if he'd put his foot on the gas, then she would have been pulled apart, and if he just took off the brake, it would have rolled back.
I think it was rolling forward though.
Right. Okay.
So she got torn in half basically. That would have been a pretty.
See how this is more Joyride / Roadkill. This is the kind of the influence that Joyride Roadkill took from this more than anything else. Like less of the intimacy kind of thing, more of the action and a bit more of the violent nature of it. Yeah, absolutely. Ted Levine, the man. So now John.
I was really surprised actually that Nash did die.
Yeah, that takes you by surprise because of course you think she's going to survive.
Yeah, you think? Okay.
Because she has nothing to really do with anything, does she? She's just there by accident almost.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, John doesn't really want
person.
her. John is using her to get to Jim.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Now that John is in custody, they find that they have no information on him. His name might not even be John Ryder, which is what he tells Jimmy his name is. I'm John Ryder at the beginning. Probably isn't his name. I like it when they ask him, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Disneyland." Yeah, good one. So Jim's in the interrogation as well, looking through the two-way mirror. He says to Estridge, I want to go in there and talk to him or whatever. Holds out his hand to shake, but then just gobs in his face in absolute disgust. I've got to imagine that maybe that was scripted, and if it was scripted or whether it wasn't, I reckon Rutger Hauer was like, no, gob in my face, young C. Thomas Howell, just do it.
That's what Clive Owen did in the play. Someone had to gob in his face every single performance, and they actually did it. Gross.
Yeah, grim. But realism is what actors want to go for, isn't it? And even when he gobs in his face, he's like playing with it. Like,
he almost likes it, doesn't he?
He does almost like it, yeah, because he knows that he's really got to him. He knows that he's really got to him.
I also liked when the Estridge, because obviously you said Jim and John kind of almost shake hands first before he gets a gob in the face. And I liked seeing Estridge in the slight background just being like really confused as to, hang on, why is he like, did I get this guy all wrong? Yeah.
He's now, Jim, he's now driven back by Estridge. He's like, this is over for you. You don't have to worry yourself about this. And the reason he says things like, you know, there's nothing to do with you anymore, is because Jim says to Estridge while he's driving him back, you know, you're never going to hold him. He's going to escape again, kind of thing. And like then Estridge, he has this thing like, I know there's something weird going on between you two. I'm not quite sure I know what it is. I'm not sure I even want to know, but just wash your hands of this and get out of here. Then Jim kind of asks him, oh, can I have one of your cigarettes? And as he has his guard down for 1 second, he takes his gun from his holster and he holds up Estridge.
Like, I can see why he's doing it, and it ends up being the right thing for humanity, but it's still annoying. I'm like, just get out of there. It's not your responsibility.
You can't take like bad/ballsy decisions in movies, can you? You're like, oh, yeah. I saw you sighing throughout the whole of this at Jimmy's young Jimmy's actions.
Young Jimmy.
Poor young Jimmy. Yeah. See Thomas Howell, who of course is Pony Boy in The Outsiders. Yeah, I know you haven't seen the movie, but
no,
he's Pony Boy.
Book.
Stay gold.
Pony Boy.
Stay gold, Pony Boy.
But yeah, now that he's got his gun, he forces Estridge out of his own vehicle, takes the vehicle, and he chases down the like transportation unit that John is in. And by the time we catch up to John, he has indeed managed to like fool the guys guarding him.
Is that because he's supernatural, like you said?
Maybe. Or is he just super smart? So smart. And he's gunned down the officers in there, and he's just gotten out of the vehicle when Jimmy shows up, right?
It's almost like that whole Robocop van thing where they open up the back of the van, Rutger Hauer's standing there, and he literally launches himself through the windshield of Jimmy's vehicle.
Yeah, that was pretty sick as well.
Yeah, but then of course Jimmy slams on the brakes, which puts him back through the windscreen.
This was crazy
and he
as well.
runs him over.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so you've slammed on the brakes, which means that John's flown back out. He's already crashed through your windscreen. Now he's crashed back out of the windscreen and rolled onto the floor. And Jimmy, obviously he braked pretty quickly, so he would have a bit of a like, ooh, I'm a bit fuzzy because I just whatever. But still, how on earth does John recover faster than Jimmy?
He's supernatural, like you said.
Yeah, he must be.
Oh, he's the indestructible force. I think that's more the metaphorical angle of this guy is death, which is unstoppable. So you gotta think deeper than what is actually happening on the surface.
And apparently
and what they
this
represent.
dead stop also messed up the like engine or something of the car. Because John gets up, points his gun, he starts shooting towards Jimmy, and Jimmy's kind of hiding whilst trying to get the car going, and it's just like that was my impression of a car not quite starting.
Yeah, of course, even though that Jimmy has now hit John with the car.
Yeah.
Once he gets out, he takes a look at him on the floor, decides he's probably done for, turns around. As he turns around, of course, once again, John gets up, but this time Jimmy's had enough, and he blows him away with a giant gun and just waits, I guess, for the cops to catch up for him as he's just smoking next to the cop car. Pretty cool movie.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's cool because the mainstream critics hate it, much like they hate Predator and Hellraiser 2 and all these other great films. Yeah, they have no idea what they're talking about, because how can you write this off? But the people said it right. A highly influential film and really great performance from Rutger Hauer. And I also think, for how great Rutger Hauer is, it's a testament to C. Thomas Howell that he's not being blown off the screen by him as a young actor at the time.
No, he does a really good job.
He does do a good job. Everyone does a good job pretty much, yeah. The whole thing's filmed very well. I
think it's actually for, like a road trip horror movie, it's quite deep, man. Like there is quite a lot of thought that you can put into it. So
yeah, I'm not sure the critics got that.
Clearly not.
No, they didn't, and they thought it was like too violent. Like I said, there was Betty Ellie violence.
Yeah, that's so strange.
It's all off screen, yeah. And you could say there's that violence in the dialogue, but that's just another thing. That's another thing that I really did enjoy. Like again, is I like dialogue, good dialogue, and you had that especially at the beginning when John is telling Jimmy what he's just done to this person in the car and things like that, and he's being quite vague. Very good, yeah, well shot. So, Hitcher, I'm sure most people have seen it. I actually haven't seen the Sean Bean remake. Probably quite funny, actually.
I assume Sean Bean dies.
Yeah, he dies and everything, doesn't he? So let's get on to your number 2 pick. I mean, your order is just baffling.
Wasn't it your... Oh, no, that was your number 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell, yeah, which I hadn't heard of before.
This is one of those horrors that, again, much like a lot of the ones we watched, it's not scary in any way, shape or form.
It's more in the vein of movies like Waxwork, stuff like that. But it's also, it was misleading once again, because this is on, Mr. Bezos' streaming service, and two of the words that described it were horror and dark. Because this wasn't a dark movie.
It wasn't dark in the
this was a horror comedy. Yeah, written by Brian Helgeland, starring Kirsty Swanson. Yeah, she's in Dude, Where's My Car?
Okay.
Right. She was the main girl.
Yeah.
Rachel. And it would open with some super soulful credits. Oh yeah.
It was so funny. A lot of the music, throughout this film, had me doubling over. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because the oh yeah comes back later on, doesn't it? Like when he enters Hell City or whatever. Yeah, so we got a couple, Charlie and Rachel.
Yeah.
And they're in a diner. And they're running away to Vegas because they want to get married, even though it seems like they don't have their parents' blessing or they're too young to be married, something like that.
He's like, technically what we're doing is illegal.
Yeah, bad boy. And there's a cop playing what looks to be Sega Mega Drive's Outrun at the arcade, and Charlie gets a bit, he's a bit suspicious. He's like, oh, that cop's looking at us. He knows that we're underage. He knows that we're heading to Vegas to get married. So they quickly leave the diner and they get into their pizza car, their Pinto pizza.
Yeah, because if you want to, go under the radar, then you want to you want to drive this car with a massive pizza slice on the top, don't you?
Yeah, really cool. I wish I had a pizza car. So they get into said pizza car, their Pizza Pinto, and they're gonna be their way to Vegas. But before they've
got a dog with them as well. So.
Yeah, they got a little dog here, Mr. Ben.
Yeah.
And before they head to Vegas, they better stop off for some gas, and they stop off at Sam's Last Chance and meet the man himself, Sam. Who's sitting on the porch. I loved
his little chair. Did you like that? It's a chair facing one way, but he's got a rear view mirror so that he can see them pulling up.
Yeah. And, he's quite happily gives them their gas, their petrol, and he starts wiping the windscreen. I thought it was a bit weird at this point.
It was
a bit
weird.
Of red herring-y they've done Sam here.
He looked like a little bit of a psycho pervert where he kept smiling at her and stuff.
Yeah, but because Charlie and Rachel are paranoid about what they're doing, they decide they're not going to take the main highway. They want to go a little bit off-road, and Sam warns them, your Pizza Pinto car is not up to this because the off-road is a bit, rugged, and you won't make it kind of thing. So he tries to warn them not to go there, but of course they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and as they're driving away, he shouts one last warning, there's two, what are they called? Something trees.
Sycamore. No, not sycamore. Joshua trees.
That's it, Joshua trees. He's like, whatever you do, don't stop the car till you pass the second tree.
Yeah, the second Joshua tree. So as they drive off, Charlie falls asleep at the wheel, which prompts a cop to start giving chase.
Hey, this is another thing with these driving movies. I'm like, seriously, guys, why do they always drive whilst they're literally nodding off?
Not only
just pull over
has it got the attention of a cop, not just any cop, it's the cop from hell.
Yeah, I really liked all the scarring tattoo writing stuff they had all over him.
It's a bit like a Freddy Krueger cop from hell. He's he's got a burnt face.
I thought he looked pretty sick.
Like scar tissue. Yeah, the guy that plays the cop from hell also played Jason Voorhees in one of the later Friday the 13th movies.
I can see that. I mean, he doesn't say anything, does he?
No, he doesn't utter a word.
It's just a physical
the whole thing. Yeah,
presence.
Physical performance. He's more like a stuntman performance.
Oh, and I loved the
cuffs so what they got. So he takes Charlie out the car, knocks him out pretty much, and then he arrests Rachel with, as you said, these live handcuffs, which are actually two hands, which grab on
dead live
to your wrist. Yeah,
they're definitely
dead live.
Yeah, they're all grey and horrible, but they.
He leaves Charlie at the side of the road, and when he puts Rachel into the back of the car, the two hands then hang on to the partition of the car.
One's holding on to her, and then one's just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he drives off. And it's rocket car.
Back to the Future style.
Rocket car. Although when the rockets are going off in the car's not going any faster. It's
purely, it looks cool.
It's purely cosmetic.
Yeah.
Here are the rockets at the side of my car, but we're not going any faster.
And I swear it kept doing it intermittent fart style, just like.
Yeah, goes off when it wants. So now Charlie's been left at the side of the road with Mr. Ben, his dog. Mr. Ben licks him back to consciousness in the face. Ben and Charlie go back to Sam's to find out what the hell's been going on.
Yeah, I felt like this was a little bit of a waste of time because I thought, well, surely your first instinct should be to just follow the cop car and try and catch them up. But he does go back and he's like, why didn't you warn us? Like, the cop has taken my girlfriend.
Yeah, but Charlie's also like, what's going on here? And Sam's like, well, it's the highway to hell. Charlie's like, this is serious. Stop messing about. The highway to hell. Yeah. But then obviously Sam's got his own story that the hell cop took his one love, Clara, away years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the same thing happened to him.
He tells Charlie that he's got to get to Hell City. So he's like, come with me. Kind of like gives him some ammunition and a gun and a brand new super sweet vehicle, which looks like the ZZ Top Eliminator car.
Well, brand new but super old, because I'm assuming that was his car when Clara went missing, and he's kept it all.
Like I said, it's a ZZ. It's like a ZZ Top Eliminator car, but it's white.
It's lovely.
Yeah, and Sam explained to him everything he needs to do. You know, once again, you've got to go past in between the Joshua trees, stuff like that, and you really have to believe. You have to believe that you're going to get through the portal into Hell City.
And he's got a time crunch both to get his girlfriend before she reaches a certain point, and then to get them both back. Otherwise, he'll be stuck in hell.
You know, there's always a time crunch. You know, it's almost like when people drop you off at Haunted Island, make sure you're back before sundown, or else you're going to be stranded on the island. Make sure you do this, or you're going to be stuck in Hell City. So now, you know, Charlie, he's loaded up, he's got a new car, he's got guns and stuff. As he's driving off, Sam shouts out to him, "Oh, and just to let you know, there's something special in the car." We don't know what this special thing is, and we won't find out till much later. Then Charlie, he starts driving between the Joshua trees, and he's like doing like donuts and stuff almost, and sure enough a cop shows up.
Yes, an actual cop, not a hell cop.
Yeah, I thought you were going to be like more, but it's not the hell cop.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I ruined that. And this bit was the first bit that really made me...
it's not the hell cop.
This made me laugh, because you've got Charlie just going back and forth, and he's just like, I believe. Yeah. It works.
It does. But before he does that, obviously he's stopped by the cop.
Yeah.
And as the cop's walking to his car, Charlie's like, right, you've got it. Yeah, he just puts his giant shotgun to his face. He's like,
oops.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, wrong cop.
Yeah, so then the chase is given again. It's at this point where he's like, I believe, because the cop's going for him. And because he believes so hard, he's taken through the portal out of the real world into Hell world itself. Not quite into Hell City yet.
And the regular cop is just like, what the hell of... Where's he gone? Like, what's just happened?
Yeah, because obviously the ZZ Top car just disappears, leaving the cop there. And now we're in to this other world. It looks a bit like Cairo. You know, it's just dusty and desolate. It
basically looks the same as where they were, just a bit more like they've taken some of the colour out. That's what I felt.
I guess maybe at this point it's not Cairo. When they actually get to Hell City, then it's Cairo. You know, just an urban hell.
Yeah.
Absolute urban hell. So the first thing he does, first thing you see, should I say, is the hell cop. He goes to this place called Pluto's Donuts with Rachel, who obviously he's captured. And as they're walking in, we see... Did you notice who it was outside in the chef's gear? You know, the guy cracked an egg on his...
brain cheese.
Yeah. Cheese. Hey, you want some head cheese? Egghead cheese?
No, I have no idea who that was.
Well...
School me.
Obviously, I'll school you in a second, but there's a reason I'm keeping it back a little bit, because they walk into Pluto's Donuts, don't they? And kind of the cop then he has, with his live handcuffs, he cuffs Rachel to the counter with it, and kind of like this guy kind of like bothering him, isn't there? And it's the guy Jerry Stiller, who is actually Ben Stiller's dad.
Okay.
The guy's like, can you do this? That guy.
Okay.
And the woman behind the counter is Jerry Stiller's wife. She goes by a different name though, but I'm just going to call her like Mrs. Stiller. And yeah, there's kind of all this kind of stuff going on there. But while this is going on, Rachel manages to escape because she pours hot coffee onto the live handcuffs.
I loved that worked.
It is. It's such a great idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
to have that.
The patrons as well. Obviously, this is hell, so they're all dead, and some of them were really bizarre looking, like not humans even. It looked more like some of the like Hellraiser characters and stuff.
Mhm.
I was like, what the hell is going on here? And some of them just were beyond that. I swear there was like some kind of fish man in there.
Yeah, they've got quite a few things covered in there. Definitely.
Fish
I
man.
think when we're in there as well, it's the first instance we see of Hellcop's vaporizer gun.
Yeah. Because they're all kind of like coming in close to them, aren't they? And then he vaporizes one of them and they're all just like, oh, okay. Back off.
Once she escapes by pouring the hot coffee onto the live handcuffs, we're back outside and we see the guy who cracks the
chef.
egg.
Yeah.
The chef, who was pretty great.
Yeah.
The chef was really good.
Yeah.
And so as they get outside, because the reason I kept it back was when she first walks in and we see the chef guy, I didn't notice who it was.
Yeah.
And it was only when she walks back outside that I did notice. So we've had Jerry Stiller, Mrs. Stiller, that's Ben Stiller.
You're joking.
Yes, I was like, WTF?
That was
That's
Ben Stiller.
Yeah. This is Ben Stiller when he was still good.
There's zero part of me that recognised him.
Ben Stiller also comes back later as Attila the Hun at a certain table which is roped off.
No.
Yep. And the woman that plays Cleopatra in that scene is Amy Stiller. So you got buy one Stiller, get 3 free. Yeah, the whole Stiller family is here. It's Ben Stiller.
I wouldn't have recognised the others anyway, but Ben Stiller, I thought I would have recognised. I can't believe he's in this twice, and I had zero clue.
He's in his best shouty
That's
form.
so funny.
Isn't he? Because, he used to do great movies like Zoolander, Dodgeball. Even his Turning Friends is really good. I don't really like what he does now, to be honest.
When Rachel's gotten herself free, because she just goes out of the diner, and he's obviously still there, and he holds up this like rack of ribs of some kind. He's like, you want my meat? I got the best meat. And she obviously is just like trying to get out of there. And then he keeps digging fun of like, damn vegetarians.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's just the way that he delivers it is really good. Kristen Swanson, I've mentioned she was in Do Where's My Car. She's also in Hot Shots. She was in the 1992 Buffy movie as Buffy. She's in a lot of stuff. She's in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The writer of this, I think, just the writer of this, Brian Helgeland. Have you seen, let me think of a movie you might have seen, A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. He directed that. He directed a movie called Payback. He's like done a whole bunch of, he wrote the Robin Hood, Russell Crowe Robin Hood, so he's gone on to like do loads of stuff, but I'm thinking this might be his best written movie, surely.
I don't know, I love A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, is that the one where all the ladies like to fancy Heath Ledger?
Maybe, but
Possibly,
that
yeah.
might have been 10 Things I Hate About You. So I'm assuming that's older.
Okay, yes, Chris one's very good. And also Chad Lowe, the guy who plays Charlie in this. There's something about him that reminds me of like Justin Long. Obviously, he's before Justin Long, but it's something in the way that he
To me,
goes about it.
he reminds me of the guy who plays
I think he's really
Eddie
good.
in Baywatch, and he plays the teen werewolf guy.
Right,
do you know who
Michael
I'm-
J. Fox.
No.
Teen Werewolf.
Oh, maybe it's a different. No.
Teen
Okay.
Wolf.
Eddie in Baywatch.
Eddie Kramer in Baywatch. Okay, yeah. Right, well, I've got more of a Justin Long film from him. Yeah, but I thought out of a bunch of good performances, possibly his one was the best. What do you think? I kind of like he carries the movie almost.
I don't know.
I don't know. You like all of them?
I mean, yeah, I liked all of them in this, but as I've said, of the 3 movies, Rutger Hauer,
I'll just talk about this one.
I didn't.
Just one.
I didn't.
I wonder how they got all the Stillers in this. How does that come to be? They get
They just fancied working together. They're like, why not?
Yeah, family affair.
Seems like fun.
Yeah.
Well, not with my family, maybe.
Mm.
I love them, but I don't know if I'd want to work on a set with them.
Even though Rachel manages to escape, doesn't get very far before she's held captive again. This time by like a kind of a biker gang. Yeah, who are just
Of the dead.
roaming around in this part of hell.
Except it turns out that the leader of the biker gang actually isn't dead.
Mm-mm.
He's one of the few who's still living, isn't he? And his girlfriend is Clara, Sam's missing love.
Who's just been there and not aged since she got there. Yeah. Charlie then driving along, he comes across a big-breasted blonde at the side of the road who she asks for a ride. It's Lita Ford, the one and only rock and roll legend herself, Lita Ford, and it's at this point that Charlie asks, what is the quickest way to hell? And she says, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, because it's Lita Ford, the one and only. And she says, oh, by the way, have you got room for one more person? Also, this dude just starts attacking the car.
This guy seemed like Leatherface to me, but without the mask.
Yeah, Charlie manages to blast him in the face
Yeah.
in a kind of a non-violent way. It's almost like his head's made of clay, because he blows a big hole.
Well, the guy was
in
like,
his
I'm
clay
going to
face.
scoop your brains
Yeah.
out. And then obviously Charlie's like, well, now you can scoop your own brains.
Yeah, Charlie manages then to come across the biker gang, and he says, look, I'm after the Hell Cop because he's taken my girl. Apparently the Hell Cop only takes pretty young things.
Virgins.
Yeah, pretty young virgins, yeah. Charlie, it's at this point, and then Charlie sees Clara for the first time. They don't quite have an interaction yet, he just kind of recognises her. And now it's Hell Cop versus Charlie in a car duel for a little while, a bit of action. The car gets busted up.
Yeah,
So
that beautiful car.
Yeah, the beautiful ZZ Top car gets busted up by the Hell Cop. So AAA comes. I say AAA, it's actually Anarchy, Armageddon, Annihilation. And the guy that's driving the pickup truck, his name is Beazle. And Beazle comes and helps, and he says, I'll fix your car for you. And he takes him back to his garage. But as they're driving back to the garage, there's this really cool advert playing for Styx beer, as in STYX. Yeah, beer. That was a nice
Beer
touch.
made with our own dirty Styx water.
Yeah.
The filthiest beer you can find.
Charlie tells Beazle his dilemma when they're in the chop shop.
Yeah.
And then Beazle lets him, well, wherever you're going, from here, all roads lead to hell and Hell Cop himself. So we have that nice little thing. We also then introduced, I think the name's Adam, the little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's like
I
Beazle's
recognise
kid.
him. And whoever's done his haircut should never be allowed near Shears
It's
again.
like put a sink on his
It's
head and
horrendous.
just cut around.
Yeah.
Maybe there's no barbers in hell for children or something like that. Yeah, he obviously stays the same age, doesn't he? Because he was taken at this age from where he was and taken into hell.
And he's also not dead.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of wants to go back almost, but he's promised Beazle that he'll stick around for Beazle's sake, because Beazle's lonely. Yeah, and we get this nice scene now, a really cool scene of the conveyor belt, and we've got a bunch of people in line who are admitting their sins.
Yeah, but this was like something, I don't remember the words they used, but this was the people who have like a lame excuse for why they've done their bad thing. They're like, I only slept with him so my husband would get a promotion.
On the conveyor belt you go,
Yeah.
and then on the other side of the conveyor belt just like legs. And like
That was it. They're
torsos.
using them to like pave a road. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that was really
It was
good.
a nice touch. There's always tiny little things in here which make the movie what it is, kind of thing. Yeah, Charlie now ends up at a place called Hoffa's Club. It's a bit of a titty bar. Yeah, there's like ladies in cages and stuff like
There's
this.
also men in cages though, so if
Yeah.
you like a bit of that,
Absolutely,
goes
yeah.
both ways.
Big pet men in cages. So this is, equality. Everyone likes that, don't they, these days?
Yeah.
And he also finds in one of these cages Rachel. A Hell Cop comes out of nowhere. Charlie tries to blast Hell Cop to no avail, so instead Hell Cop blasts Charlie,
Yeah.
takes Rachel, but luckily for Charlie, Beazle's there. He says, I can fix you. I can fix a lot of things.
Yeah.
Cars, people, horse races.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man
Get
to
it?
do it, yeah. Now it's the best part of the movie. Because Beazle has taken Charlie to a casino to see to him. He puts him on the bar of the casino
Yeah.
to bring him
This
back
bit.
into life. And there's this little casino usher, and he's getting a phone call from Idi Amin. He's like, Idi Amin to the white courtesy telephone. And as he's looking for Idi Amin, there's this roped off section with three people there. As I mentioned before, one of them is Ben Stiller as Attila the Hun. One of them is, I believe, is Amy Stiller. Her name is as Cleopatra. And finally, the one and only, the legend, Gilbert Gottfried as Adolf Hitler.
But I am not Hitler.
I am not Hitler. When I met God, he said, "Hello, Bob." Yes, I mean they've missed a trick here. Gilbert Gottfried can sometimes be a bit much, but when he's on form, he is on fire.
Do you think all of that, what he was saying, was all scripted, or do you think he could have ad-libbed a lot
I wouldn't
of
be
it?
surprised if Gilbert Gottfried ad-libbed a lot of that, because Gilbert Gottfried is Hitler in this, because he's in his roped-off section with Attila the Hun and Cleopatra, bad people, and we've got to assume that they can't leave this table, or it's like a waiting room to go somewhere else, possibly. I'm not
Right.
sure what's implied. But Gottfried as Hitler, he's in denial that he's Hitler because obviously he's in hell and he doesn't want to be known as Hitler. He's like, I am not Hitler. I am 19 years old. I like heavy metal music. I like to play air guitar and to dance around my room in my underwear. And I am 19 and I should not be sitting at a table with the Flintstones. Best part of the film. First time I saw this, I was in tears at this. And, you know, people have really missed a trick here because they should have given Gilbert Gottfried a Hitler movie. A Hitler comedy. Would have been great. And because Gilbert Gottfried is Jewish, you know, of the whole history, obviously, they could have called it like Schmittler. That would have been a great comedy. Satirical comedy about Hitler. In fact, I'm going to start writing it. But there's no way I'm going to find anyone as good as Gilbert Gottfried to fill those shoes. And much like we mentioned Rutger Hauer, like a character actor.
Yeah.
Like I said, Gilbert Gottfried, his voice can maybe be a bit grating for people sometimes. But when, like I said, when he's on form, he's on form. We just don't get people like this anymore. And once again, Ben Stiller's Attila the Hun just doing little things was really good as well. Did you not notice that at that point as well that it was Ben Stiller as Attila the Hun?
No.
Yeah, there's also a table next to them reserved for Colonel Gaddafi, Botha, the former Prime Minister of South Africa, Jerry Lewis, the King of Comedy, and there was one more as well that they'd had it, and Imelda Marcos, the former First Lady of the Philippines, who, you know, robbed from her own people so she could have 3,000 pairs of shoes. People like this, yeah. So that was also a nice touch, poking at people like that. You know, after that really, really good scene with Gilbert Gottfried, the gang...
You rewound and made me watch twice as well.
Yeah, worth it. Completely worth it. The gang attack Charlie in his car and he ends up in this place called the Caves to Nowhere. And when he walks in there, he comes across Clara. They have a little conversation and she's warning him about the road that he's taking and that he should be going a different way.
Yeah, she's like, I know this is a shortcut and that's why you want to take it, but he will give you a choice and you might make the wrong one.
I guess because shortcuts are always, you know, they're more enticing than taking the long way.
Well, yeah, he also wants to save his girlfriend as quickly as possible.
She's also taken the short way previously. That's probably what's got her stuck where she is. Yeah,
definitely. And she's like, are you sure that your girlfriend needs you? Maybe she doesn't need you.
In these caves to nowhere, just a staircase, like a household staircase, just shows out of nowhere. Because, you know, this is a fantasy movie. And Charlie walks up it. And he walks into a bedroom. And in the bedroom is Rachel. And she's kind of like, is she tied to the bed or just laying there?
I think she's tied to it.
Possibly tied to it. Anyway, she's
in
being...
like black gauzy
she's being quite overly sexual, isn't she?
Being very sexual.
Essentially begging Charlie to take her there and then, because she's saying to him, if you take me now, the devil won't want me because I will no longer be a virgin.
Which, at first, you're like, okay, yeah, I buy this. But then there's a certain point, so he's all, like, bloodied up and stuff. And she's, like, snogging him, getting blood all over her own face and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when you start to realise, like, hang on a minute.
Something's a bit off.
Wrong.
And as you realise something's off, who comes? Hellcop. Hellcop turns up. Charlie somehow manages to get Hellcop's vaporizer and vaporizes Hellcop, but he's still got weird Rachel there, and there's a mirror.
Yeah, so in the reflection, we see this weird, saggy, grey goblin woman thing.
The saggy breast and the demon, like, no!
Saggy breast, little pot belly, little horns, and yeah, so definitely not his girlfriend. But also, I felt a bit bad because this demon thing is like, I'm a lover, and it just like just wants someone, and he ends up like blasting her down into some abyss.
Yeah, he shoots her through the bed back down into
and of course,
hell.
He's just like, sorry, you're just not my type.
Yeah, you always get those little one-liners.
So 80s.
They're not great one-liners, but they're still just like...
But I felt kind of sorry for the demon woman, because she wasn't, like, being violent or anything. She just wanted love.
Did just want love, yeah, but no one's making love to that unless you look quite similar.
Well, you know, as they would have you believe nowadays, beauty goes beyond just the surface layer, so he should have given her a chance.
No, there's inner beauty and there's still outer beauty. Okay, I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder though, right? As they say. Yeah, after this, finally gets into his car and he drives through the wall into Hell City, and now it's like Cairo. just dusty and grey urban hell. And the first thing that he comes across is like a Cerberus, the 3-headed hound of hell.
Yeah, this was
on a chain.
Funny. He's like trying to get by, but obviously Cerberus is like, well, no, you're not supposed to be here or whatever.
Well, Cerberus is the dog, the 3-headed dog.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk.
No, I know, but he's like barking at him and letting the others go past.
Right, I thought you were saying that Cerberus is like, hey.
He's not talking.
You're not...
No,
okay.
but he's trying to attack him.
Yeah.
And so Mr. Ben
Yeah.
goes off, and I think he like pees to mark his territory, which obviously pisses off 3-headed dog.
Obviously, Mr. Ben's he's a tiny little...
he's one of those dogs that looks like an old man.
Yeah, who always like, has a little scarf on. Yeah.
Cute.
Like a little terrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Charlie manages to slip past, and he gets to the ferryman.
Yeah, the man with the stitched eyes. Yeah, the ferryman.
That was cool as well.
It was, yeah, because he lets him cross it over the River Styx.
Yeah.
Into the Netherworld.
But warns him that I can bend the rules and let you in, but you won't be able to come back.
What I really liked is when he gets in the boat on the River Styx and he's about to go into the Netherworld, they had like an electronic information board.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Electronic information board.
Yeah.
And it says like, abandon all hope ye who enter from here, kind of thing, because you're not going to be coming back out. This is the end of you, kind of thing. So yeah, 2 movies with the ferryman. At least the ferryman alluded to. Once he's finished a journey on the boat, he gets into like the first room, and they're kind of like a old school British guards in like the red uniform.
Yeah, I felt like there were different uniforms. There were multiple ones.
Yeah.
So it's like they've just chosen every like uniformed guard, army guy, whatever, who's ended up in hell is now being roped in to work at this place. That's what it felt like.
That did feel like that. There's something that we just briefly didn't mention when Charlie first goes to Beasel's chop shop. Beasel's asking him about his girl. He's like, no, she's the only one for me. Because she must be some special girl. And he says, yeah, we did it in my Pinto. No, he didn't. But he's like, yeah, I've done it. We had sex in my Pinto, my pizza Pinto. That's pretty cool. I bet the girls love a pizza Pinto.
I'd like it if there was pizza in it.
Well, so afterwards.
I don't know if that would turn me on though.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you've let out some information about yourself there. To get you a pizza. So instantly goes in, once we see all the British guards, he finds Rachel again. And also the devil comes out. The devil himself, the horned devil. He makes this big speech about how he's going to be keeping Rachel here.
Rachel can have anything she wants here as well.
But then Rachel and Charlie kind of like, they talk about their love and how deep it goes. So he decides, after professing their love, that he's going to let them go. Yeah, is the devil misunderstood?
No.
No? So Satan is just Satan!
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And if you didn't already get it, the devil is Beelzebub, because you know Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Beelzebub this whole time, so masquerading as the good guy, fixing Charlie up and all this, helping on his mission, helping on his quest. But the whole time he has been Mr. Devil.
And he's got the little kid who isn't dead because he's training him up. And funnily enough, the last kid that he was training up to be what he wanted was actually the leader of
the biker gang.
And yeah, he's a big disappointment to the devil.
He is a big disappointment, yeah.
And it sounded like he's trying to train him to be one of those, like the most awful humans in our history. He wants to train them up to be
like
that.
Stalin
and then,
or something.
And then set them loose
Mao.
on the world. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Once they decide, once they're told that they can leave, it's not that easy because they're in pursuit of like a bunch of demons and the British guards and all the other guards, and they come to Hellcop's rocket car, and they get into that, and also of course now because they've taken Hellcop's car, Hellcop is back. Charlie and Rachel, they drive back through the wall and they come to this giant black skyscraper which wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And out of it comes Beazle with little Adam. Yeah. And Adam's saying, I want to go, but I will...
Charlie promised.
Yeah, Charlie promised to take him, but I also, myself as Adam, promised Beazle that I wouldn't leave him. So I'm a little bit torn. So how can you settle this? A bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlie says to the devil, I'm not leaving without both my girlfriend, but also Adam. I'm taking Adam with me. And, you can have me. And Beazle's like, well, I don't really want you. What use have I got for you? So then Rachel, that is her name, right?
Mhm.
Rachel steps in and says,
Christy
okay,
Swanson.
how about we make this bet, and if we lose, you can have me. And now Beasel's like, yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take this virgin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
And the bet is they're going to basically race Hellcop.
Yeah. Gonna race Hellcop in his rocket car. Maybe they've seen that. I know he's got a rocket car, but if you notice, when the rocket goes off, it doesn't actually go any faster. So we've got a chance here. The race is about to begin. Clara comes along.
Yeah.
She pops to the window. She's like, "Oh, say hello to Sam for me." It was a bit sad,
Yeah.
you know, because I thought that Clara and Sam were someone going to be reunited.
I did too, but then equally, as you mentioned, Clara is staying the exact same age. Sam is an old man now. Like, unless Clara had come through and then been that age, like, it wouldn't have worked.
Right. Still sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, but not really within the tone of the movie. You know, it's kept light all the way through, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And they're about to start the race, and Beazle, you know, he has one more like temptation for Charlie. He's like, "How about, Charlie, if I make you the quarterback of the Rams, will you then let me have Rachel and Adam?" And he's like, turns away, puts on his 49ers cap, and he's like, "If you said the Niners, maybe I would have, but you didn't. So you can go to hell."
Such a
It's
dumb
so
line.
dumb, but-
Oh my
but
god.
it's good.
This is the kind of movie where if it was coming out in cinemas now and someone said something like that, I'd be like, oh.
It's because
But it's got the
it has the
charm
charm.
of the 80s.
No, this is very early 90s, this one.
Oh, it felt
I
very
think,
80s.
Yeah, it's just come out of the 80s, so yeah, it could possibly have been filmed in 89 and then released a bit later, but yeah, it does have a charm
Well,
to
as
it.
we all know, you know, when the decades change, then everything changes on stop.
There's no such thing as charm to these kind of movies anymore. It's all just like...
Annoying.
Yeah, absolutely, because no one knows
Cringeworthy.
no one knows what they're doing anymore. There's no innocence in it or anything like that. So now we mentioned the leader of the biker gang. He starts getting a bit irked, doesn't he? Because, you know, how come you're giving these people a chance to escape back into the real world
I want to go.
and not me? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he starts. Is it him that starts trying to stab through the car, and then Clara stops him?
He's got like a sword, a
Yeah.
full-on sword.
Clara manages to stop him, and then I think his little Adam in the car says, "You know, if you just shoot the Hellcop in his glasses, that's the thing that'll end him." Charles like, "Why didn't you tell me this before?" He's like, "Well, I wasn't on your side before." Kind of thing. Like, now I am. I'm going to give you all the info. And very quickly, you know, there's not much to the race, is there?
No.
You know, Charlie wins it, and pew, he's literally back in the road where he left the cop who he pointed the shotgun at.
The regular cop.
Yeah, regular cop. And the regular cop's like, "Oh, you're back. I'm going to have you now." So the cop is still there. He cuffs Charlie, but then through the billboard... comes
His
Hellcop
Hellcop as
in his
well.
rocket car, and as he comes busting through,
It's not over yet.
the real cop tries to shoot him, but obviously it doesn't work. Hellcop is about to zap Charlie, but then Rachel phew, shoots Hellcop in his glasses, like, and he vaporizes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the end of the film. Cool film.
It's like, so much fun.
I like finding films like this, which I haven't seen before.
And it's kind of like, again, somewhat kiddie horror, but also definitely, I mean, we're not kids and we enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I say, if you like movies like Waxwork, then you'll enjoy this. Maybe this is a bit sillier than Waxwork, but actually no, is it silly? Can anything really be sillier than Waxwork? With, you know, the professor in his wheelchair of war,
Yeah, okay.
things like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the performances in this are really good. Everything about this is really good. It's one of those. It did have
The tone reminded me not just of Waxwork, but also one of the ones from last week, which was The Gate 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Similar tone to that.
Yeah, it is. That is as well. I think we even compared that somewhat to Waxwork in terms of tone. So it is one of those ones, and it just goes with it all the way through, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
it sticks with it, and it's one of those things that I think it's had quite a budget to it. It had like a $6 million budget or something like that, but it made like no money whatsoever. Like I said, I hadn't even heard of it, and for me, I've heard of most films in the genre, but not this one. Yeah, glad I came across it. This was my number one. Really, it's worth seeing just for Gilbert Gottfried as Hitler. Absolutely brilliant that was. And once the film ends, we get like a little we get text come up the screen.
Yeah, like,
about
where are they now?
Where their life is gone.
That made me really sad, actually, the one bit, because they say that Sam is still waiting with the hope of seeing Clara. And I was like, oh, you've just given me this funny, upbeat movie, and now you just made me really sad right at the end.
Maybe when he passes away, because he's a bit of an older gentleman, maybe then Clara will be released from hell, and they will be reunited in the kingdom of heaven. That's what I like to think. Yeah, it says that Rachel and Charlie, they got married with their parents' blessing. Charlie is now a video game developer, and he bases all his games on his time in hell. One of his games is called Dog from Hell, which is pretty funny. And Rachel opened a hot as hell pizzeria. Little Adam now lives with his aunt and uncle in some state. And Sam, like you said, Sam stays up late, warning people about the highway and hopes to be reunited with Clara. And Beazle continues his game in hell. Yes, good stuff. We mentioned all the actors in this, and the last guy, the guy that plays Beazle, is Patrick Berg, and a lot of people will know who he is. So yeah, good cast. And obviously Ben Stiller back when he was still really, really good.
And when you can't recognise him.
Can't recognise him, yeah. Shouty Ben Stiller. So yeah, good stuff. So we're now on to what was my bottom pick, The Highway Hitcher. It's also known as The Pass, made in 1998. This is your number one, so do you want to explain yourself?
I just felt, whilst we were watching it, that I was the most kind of kept on my toes. I think, obviously a lot happens in Highway to Hell, but it's such a comedic, silly vibe, whereas this was closer to horror. But I feel like more was happening than in The Hitcher.
It's just... look, I enjoyed this film. I certainly enjoyed it, but at the same time, I was like, this movie is crud, but kind of entertaining.
I liked it.
And it has somewhat... No, like I just said, I didn't not like it. But...
I feel like you're judging me.
It definitely has... there were like stuff like editing problems and things like this. And also the aspect ratio is like 4:3. So it's the box. It's like a TV movie. But weirdly enough, it has somewhat of a heavyweight cast in this. We've got William Forsythe. He plays the lead, right? Jamie Kennedy is in this, obviously a Scream fame. Nancy Allen, Officer Lewis herself from RoboCop, she's Shirley. We've got Michael McKean of Spinal Tap fame. And we've also got Elizabeth Pena, who plays Jezebel in Jacob's Ladder. And finally, for horror fans, James LeGros, who was recast as Mike in Phantasm 2. He's also done a whole load of other credits as well. So, William Forsythe, I've never seen William Forsythe like this before. I've seen him in Devil's Rejects, Out for Justice, Boardwalk Empire, whole bunch of stuff. And this is the only... He's a hard man, William Forsythe, especially in movies. In this, he plays like a really pathetic guy, doesn't he? Charlie, his name is. This is the first time I've ever seen him do this, and I thought he was really good.
He was really good.
It shows how good of an actor he is, because
he completely sold it.
Literally never seen him anything close to this in terms of a performance. It's the only time I've seen him, like I said, as a pathetic kind of guy, because normally, he's the hard man.
Well, clearly this all-star cast really sold it for me.
That's the thing that I liked about it most, is that even though the movie was just like a bit eye-rolling in terms of what's going to happen pretty much at every single turn. Yeah, how can you not predict this film at every single turn?
I didn't know the twist was what was going to happen.
But it was...
How did you predict that?
There's a lot of silly stuff in this. A lot of silly stuff which put it above. Like I said, I can't in good conscience put it above The Hitcher.
But
no
you
chance.
Could put Highway to Hell above it.
Highway to Hell was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
That was silly though. That was
so
silly.
Charlie, William Forsythe, we open with him, and he's like a gambling addict, right? Who's supposed to be heading to Reno
with his
wife Nancy Allen
for Christmas.
A.k.a. Shirley. It's a Christmas movie. Should I say this for Christmas? Yeah, and he's playing video blackjack. No, video. Yeah, he's blackjack.
Blackjack.
Yeah, I was about to say poker. Wait, no, he's a blackjack man, isn't he? And it's Christmas. His wife Shirley's leaving him though, and they're supposed to be going to Reno. Supposed to be going there. So he goes.
Yeah, his colleague kind of convinces him.
Yeah,
well,
his colleague
get
Willie.
Your mind off it.
Willie's Michael McKean from Spinal Tap. They're at the bar together, kind of thing, and he convinces him. Wife's leaving you. Just go to Reno. Yeah, drink.
Have a good time.
Gamble. All that good stuff. Like, yeah, that sounds pretty tempting to me. Go, go, go. And there's a brief moment where after this bar scene, William Forsythe, the Charlie, goes home. And Nancy Allen, his wife, is there, Shirley. And she didn't want to see him. She just wanted to come and collect some stuff and then leave. He's like, oh, you're here. oh, can we talk? Da-da-da-da-da-da. But she's like, no,
And
Charlie.
sick to death of talking.
Sick to death of talking, I'm
Let's
leaving.
just both be strong.
And then in the next scene, we just see William Forsythe, the man himself, sitting on his couch wrapped in a blanket eating ice cream. Like a
Bridget Jones.
like a typical sad woman in Hollywood movies. Yeah, to see William
Bridget
Forsythe
Jones.
eating ice cream in a blanket I was like, am I actually seeing this?
I felt really sorry for him. He
He's so
totally sold
pathetic,
it.
isn't
He
he?
completely sold it.
Well, you know, William Forsythe, he is a good actor. And he did, even I was even noticing just the little things that he did with like his face and stuff just makes all the difference from being a typical hard man role to being, yeah, the pathetic Charlie that he played. But you still like Charlie, even though he makes like stupid decisions.
Yeah, well, he's not a bad guy, is he? And he just...
He's not a bad guy. But I thought he'd be the kind of guy you'd get annoyed with. I don't know what I'm getting with you then, do I?
I didn't notice any decisions I thought were particularly stupid.
Yeah, as I would say, so Willie's implored him, shall I say, to go to Reno and get loose. And once again, like the first thing he does when he's on the way to Reno, he calls Shirley. He's like, hey, you won't believe it. I'm on my way to Reno.
Why don't you hop on a plane?
Yeah, why don't you catch a
join me?
flight? And she's like, no, Charlie, you know, stop calling me. Like, sorry. And then for the first moment, though, when he puts down the phone, he's like, spoiled bitch. So I was like, okay, Charlie, this is more like it. You know, don't be a doormat kind of thing. And we get a lot of him just driving up.
Well, I also got
up
a
the
lot
road.
of the thing because obviously they've been married for ages, and he's
12
he's just
years.
your typical like long term. He's got a regular job. He's had his wife. Blah blah blah. I think part of his obsession with getting her back was just because it's what he knows.
Yeah, he's you know, comfortable in his creature comforts, isn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to expand
It's
his
too scary
horizons
to-
or anything like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stuck in his ways, so to speak. So we see him driving up this like, kind of like desolate highway and like mountain road and stuff where out of nowhere he almost crashes into a broken down car, and it's a guy in a Freddy Krueger sweater and a big beard. The guy's name is Hunter.
Yeah, and our main guy's surname is Dupre.
Yeah, Dupre.
Hunter Dupre. Get it?
Yeah. So at first Charlie's kind of annoyed that he's left his car where
Yeah.
he left it because, you know, he almost clipped him, he could have died kind of thing. But because Charlie's such a kind-hearted guy, he says to Hunter, look, I'll move the car off the piece of the road where it's dangerous for everybody. And then Hunter's like, well, I kind of need a ride. He's like, well, I'm a good Samaritan. I'll give you a ride. So then Hunter
Yeah.
gets in.
But you were like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't get annoyed at Charlie. But I felt like I could totally understand where Charlie was coming from because he doesn't go out of his way to be like, hey, let me give you a ride, or hey, let me do this for you. It's more just like, well, I don't want to, which I totally get, but I also am too nice of a person, too normal of a person, I would say, to just leave you stranded, which again I get. So yeah, I didn't find him or his actions annoying. I found them totally relatable.
Once Hunter gets into the car, he becomes quite inquisitive. He's like, are you married? I noticed your ring. How long have you been married for? Do you regret it? Kind of thing. And like, once again, Charlie's like, yeah, I do regret it. Because, you know, he's mad now. He's
Every day.
He's getting out of regret it every day. Haha. He's you know, funny letting loose a little
Yeah.
bit. And because
Man banter.
Hunter keeps asking him questions, but you've only been in the car for 1 minute, and I felt like it was very quick going from Hunter asking questions to then Charlie being like, this is what is this, the Spanish Inquisition? Kind of like, it doesn't cut right.
It
Kind of
was
thing.
a
It was
bit.
that was the kind of
But
stuff
it was
that
implied.
made it silly.
It was an implication.
Yeah.
And
So,
also Charlie clearly wasn't that keen from the start. He's like, I just want to drive silently and enjoy.
yeah.
Which again, I thought you would relate to.
I will come around to you, but then again, when you pick someone up, it's kind of expected that you're going to make some kind of a
I don't think
conversation.
you really go
isn't
with
it?
what's expected though when it comes to social norms.
Do I not?
No.
Possibly. Yeah. I guess I do what I want.
Exactly.
Hunter is reading Existentialism Made Simple, which I thought was a nice touch.
It's quite funny.
Yeah. And he's like, what the hell does this mean? Kind
Yeah.
of thing. And then very quickly, again, he's like, oh, by the way, I killed somebody. And Charlie's like, what do you mean, like a hit and run? He's like, no,
No, nothing like
just
that.
straight up murder. So once he mentions that he's killed someone, Charlie's obviously like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this? And he's like, well, I kind of want to make things right. So Charlie's like, well, do you ever consider calling the police to make it right? He's like, no, that never even crossed my mind, kind of thing. We're starting to getting straight away, even though he's got a massive beard, which implies that he's mental. We now know for sure that Hunter is a bit loopy, isn't he?
Yeah, Hunter, who is no John.
You got a super straight-laced
But
Charlie.
I still enjoyed his performance as well.
Oh no, Mr. LeGros, James LeGros, was good
Yeah.
as Hunter. There's absolutely nothing wrong with his performance whatsoever. And again, to not be blown off the screen by William Forsythe, you know, that shows you have chops. You definitely have chops. I think he's kind of underused, James LeGros, somewhat.
And I also, you know, sometimes I have an issue with the sort of hair and makeup and costume department, but I think they did a good job with him.
They both completely sold it. Yeah, they did. As I say, it is... The cast are the best thing about this. Everyone does so well for what, like I said, is kind of a crud movie, but it's crud in the way that I still enjoyed it. I did still enjoy it, but it's not better than The Hitcher. Anyway, once Shai's given us information, he's like, oh, I'm just going to pull over for a leak. So they pull over at like the first gas station they find. And because he's a bit on edge, you know, he's about to get out of his car, and the car literally speaks to him. So it's like, you have left the keys in the ignition. He takes it like, no offence, kind of thing. Kind of like, well, don't worry about it. So kind of like getting the impression, maybe Hunter's not so much of a bad guy. Even
Hunter just, at this point, just seems like he's a bit mental rather than malicious.
I also get the feeling that Hunter's somewhat taking a liking to Charlie. Like, he's not going to be a danger to him.
Yeah.
Even though he's admitted to him. That's why he's admitted to him, oh, I'll just admit to you that I killed someone, but I can trust you, can't I?
But he also said with the woman that he killed... about her having done something to him and stuff. Again, like, he's deranged, but not necessarily evil. That's a really weird thing to say, considering he's killed someone. But you know what I mean.
When Charlie walks into the bathroom, we again have this very strange editing of here's Hunter looking, here's the bathroom, here's Hunter looking again. I'm not going to do any justice just by speaking. You just kind of have to watch it. It's very choppy editing. Anyway, Charlie goes into the bathroom, buy some condoms. Like, yeah, I'm really going to cut loose when I go to Reno by getting some rubbers and having my way with some lovely ladies, possibly.
Safely.
But while he's in the bathroom, though, his mobile phone rings. It's Shirley, his wife. For some reason, Hunter decides to pick up the phone and starts telling her, oh, yeah, Charlie told me that he really regrets marrying you and stuff like this. So when Charlie gets back outside, he's like, what the hell are you doing on my phone?
Yeah.
Hunter's like, I didn't think you'd mind.
Well, again, it just goes to the thing of Hunter just being a bit of a weirdo.
Yeah. So, of course, at this, Charlie's like, well, I'm leaving you here now because you're being a bit weird. Hunter's like, well, you can't leave me here. You know, the next... There's no town here. There's no way I can get anywhere. So then very quickly, Charlie's like, okay, I'll take you 30 miles to the next town. Already, that's like a dumb decision. It's like, you would leave this guy where he is at this point. He just told you he's murdered someone. He's picking up your phone telling your wife that you regret marrying her and stuff like this when you're still clearly in love with her.
Yeah, no, the only thing that I did find weird with his behaviour was at this point, because I was like, well, he can't, without annoying Hunter, he can't, like, get him out of the car. But at this point, Hunter, when he's picked up the phone, he's gotten out of the car already. So then I was like, right, just jump in there and drive off without him.
I mean, he's William Forsythe. He's a big guy. I'm sure he'd smash James LeGros.
Yeah, but he's never been in a fight before and stuff,
he hasn't.
we found out.
So now we're back in the car, and after a bit more driving, we end up at a bus depot, and he's like, look, I'll leave you here. You can get a ticket to Reno, which Hunter's like, you can't leave me here. One thing, I don't even have the money for a bus ticket, which Charlie's like, I'm a good Samaritan. I'll get you a ticket. Let's just go into the bus depot and see what we can do. So they go in there. Charlie goes to the counter. While he's at the counter trying to buy a ticket, Hunter tries to go and take a leak in the bathroom, but he can't get in because guess what? It's a pay toilet, and he freaks out.
Yeah, this is the first time that we actually see Hunter's, like, angry side, because he's just been very, like, kind of almost chipper, hasn't he? And now suddenly he's flying off the handle just at not being able to use the toilet for free. And I kind of get him, because, like, you can't not go to the toilet when you need the toilet, but equally, you know, someone's got to clean it. They've got to get toilet paper, so I see it both ways. But yeah.
I remember when Waterloo Station had paid for toilets. I was like, oh, I've got to keep paying to take a whiz every time I come to Waterloo Station.
When you're paying for the price of those train tickets already.
Sorted it out now, luckily. Anyway, when Charlie sees his chance to get away finally, so when Hunter's in the toilet, Scarpa's...
Yeah, he doesn't even buy the ticket.
No, gets in his car, chucks Hunter's suitcase out a bit further down the road and drives off as Hunter like runs after him. He's like, God damn it, kind of thing. And we think, yeah, now Charlie, he's rid of Hunter, isn't he? Or is he?
Well, it's a horror movie about a hitchhiker. It's obviously
it's
not...
kind of more of a thriller, isn't
it?
Yeah, more of a thriller. Once again, Jeff told me it was a horror. And as it's nighttime now, Charlie come to this part of the road. It's cordoned off because like the rain's really coming down. And who do we have? The one and only Officer Jamie Kennedy. Officer Randy Meeks is here, and he tells Charlie that you can't go any further on your way to Reno because the road's closed because of this. You have to turn around, go back into town and find somewhere to stay for the night. So reluctantly, Charlie turns around and he books himself into a motel. And while he's in the motel, he rings reception. He says, "Is there anywhere around here where I can get something to eat? I'm in the middle of nowhere."
And he's sent literally across the road.
Across the road to a tavern is the only place. And when he walks in there, we get bar lady Xena, aka Elizabeth Pena from Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, her performance in this was one of those weird ones where it seems like it should be over the top, just the way she's like moving and stuff, but she still completely sells it.
Really liked it.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm glad that she did something with it.
Yeah.
And the way that she gets, so they don't have like hot food, they've got some stale sandwiches, and the way she's just like, we're a full service joint, and just like dumps it on his plate and stuff. Yeah. It is really good.
To which then Charlie says, "It is stale. Yeah. I'll take a beer to wash it down," kind of thing. And like I say, he's still wearing his wedding ring because he still wants to be married somewhat to Shirley. You know, he's clinging on. But then just in passing in conversation, he says, "Oh," she asks him, "Where are you staying?" He goes, "Oh, at the hotel. There's not much to it, is there?" She goes, "Well, you should try living there." Because she lives at the motel. He says, "Oh, maybe I could take you away from here." She's like, "Well, all you gotta do is ask," kind of thing. Like, "Oh, he's in here, isn't he? Good thing he bought those condoms."
Yeah, lucky boy. But anyway, he goes off to, I guess, take off his ring in discretion.
She goes off first. She says, "Oh, I've got to do some other little chores. Are you still going to be here?" He's like, "Of course I'm still going to be here after that. Come on, yeah."
But then when he comes back out of the bathroom, the first thing we see is
suitcase.
The Hitcher suitcase. And it's been tied up with barbed wire as well, which I thought was a nice little touch. And then, the man himself. Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, Hunter comes out, and Xena's like, do you two know each other? And obviously Charlie's like, "Look, you don't want to do anything to me, just leave me alone. I want to get past and never see you again." But Hunter's not having it. Ends up punching him in the face after a quick slap, doesn't he? Luckily though for Charlie, Officer Jamie Kennedy turns up.
For his coffee top up.
Hunter Scarpers, yeah. And again, once Jamie Kennedy walks in, it's just, you said he's coming for his coffee top up. He's brought his thermos, his big flask with him. He's like, "Hey, I just came for a top up." It's the way that he says things and just the way that he just makes it. It just makes something of the performance when it's such a little thing to say, kind of thing. Yeah. Even when he's like, "On the house, right?" He's like, "Okay." Kind of thing. Every little thing he does. Whatever happened to Jamie Kennedy? Because this is 2 years after Scream. This is 98. And you know, he had Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3. He had his own show, the Jamie Kennedy Show. He was in a really good film called Three Kings. I see him like now on like a kind of like reality TV shows about the paranormal, things like that. He's always got like the haggard beard and wearing a cap. It feels like I've maybe given up somewhat, or he's just living off the money that he made. But he's a good performer. I've never seen Jamie Kennedy in the movie and not enjoyed him, kind of thing.
Those mysteries.
I really like the Jamie Kennedy Experiment as well. He's another guy that could be roped back in. I think because he's not an uber liberal, he's kind of like been shut out a bit, and that's just stupid. It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, he's really good in this. Xena, then she takes Charlie back to her motel room, tends to his wounds
with a tampon dipped in alcohol.
With a tampon, yeah. And while she's tending to him, Charlie's also noticed kind of this altar that she has in her motel room, and then she kind of like says, "Don't really ask about it." And strips off in front of him, and it's gonna be.
You want to kiss me? Yes, I do. Yeah. Then why don't you do it?
It's gonna be Charlie's lucky day. Yeah. Isn't it? And then we get the very strange putting on the condom scene.
Yeah. Well, ooh, nice.
Yeah, first she sees his package and says, "Ooh, nice." And then once she's putting the rubber on him, she's putting his face like, "Ooh." Very strange face pulling. And at first she's like, "You don't need a rubber. Let's just go el natural." But she relents, lets him, gets on top of him. And who's outside watching? Dirty Hunter. Dirty old Hunter.
I'm just watching them.
Yeah.
Pervert.
Yeah. Once they're finished doing the deed, they're kind of like sitting there, and she's like, "How was it for you?" And Charlie says, like, "Fantastic, amazing. How was it for you?" She's like, "Not bad."
Yeah, and also, but her whole like demeanor has
Demeanour.
changed a bit as well. Like she was never obviously giving that much, but she clearly now is kind of like, ugh, I'm done with you. Was what I was
Yeah.
getting.
It's at this point, actually, I was wrong. It's that now that he starts asking her about the altar. He's like, what's this altar
Yeah.
about? And she's like,
Don't
don't
ask.
ask. Kind of thing. He's like, are you some kind of a witch or something like that? She goes, no, not really, but I can sense things. I can somewhat see into the future. And she says to him, you are not to trust your wife. I'm like,
You're going to be fine, but don't trust her. And as soon as Hunter came in, I got a bad vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once she then goes off to the bathroom, and of course Charlie goes in to have a look at the altar. He finds some syringes in a box, opens up the bathroom door, and she's there,
She's just shut up.
just shut up, and her acting as having just shut up was also really
Fantastic.
believable. It was actually fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never actually seen someone shoot up in real life. I've only seen other performances of it. But for an amateur, she seemed, as in for me being an amateur in terms of that, she sold it to me.
Yeah, certainly. Charlie's like, oh my god, kind of thing, and she's like, I bet you're glad you used the condom now, kind of thing. And he's like, oh, I better get out of here. And she says, well, before you leave, you owe me $50. And in his innocence, he's like, what do you mean $50? I mean, I got it straight away from the bar interaction that she was
Oh, did you?
yeah, definitely.
I didn't. I felt like she trickstered him.
No, I certainly saw that coming. Not that it was disappointing when it was just revealed to be what I thought it was, but yeah, he's obviously been duped, and he kind of like reluctantly says, okay, I'm going to get out of it. He does leave her 50 on the side. She's like, I really need the money, clearly for her junk. She's a junkie. But he thinks, I'm going to take your cigarettes though, which he has just recently given up, he'd mentioned, as she was having her after sex smoke kind of thing.
Post-coital.
Yeah, post-coital smoke. So she leaves the money, he leaves money in Scarpa, takes cigarettes. Hunter is loitering outside. Charlie goes to his room, has a smoke, but then he notices, we are then shown the owner of the motel.
Yeah.
He's had his slit throat in one of the rooms.
Yeah, what did he ever do? Nothing.
Yeah, but Hunter is a nutter. At this point now, Hunter then breaks in to Zena's room, pulls out a massive knife. She lets off this huge screech. She is offed.
Somehow, though, the scream isn't heard by anyone because no one.
That was another thing that I
reacts.
picked up. I was like, this is an unbelievably loud scream. We're in a hotel here. I mean, a motel, should I say, like a Motel 6.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that through the walls. Someone's going to come running.
So that you had a problem with, but you didn't mind that John just kept getting ahead of Jimmy as a hitcher.
Well, he's not screaming, is he? No. Plus, you said he was supernatural, so.
I didn't mean it though.
Anyway, after we hear her, we're then back to Charlie, and he's like,
So I'm gonna get out of here now.
no, but I've forgotten my glasses. I've left my glasses at Zena's, so of course he has to go back to Zena's room. And as he walks in, he's once again confronted by Hunter. We haven't mentioned as well, when he first arrived at the motel, there's a dog on a chain outside. A very
Well, you say
yappy-
he's confronted by Hunter once straight away, but actually you've missed a bit which I really liked, which is when he discovers Zena's body in the tub. And you know, she's obviously all contorted, like her foot is by her
finds
face.
her mutilated.
But what I really loved was the way they did the shot and like the glisten in her dead eyes and stuff. I thought that looked really good.
No,
And
it
she's
was,
clutching his glasses.
that was really good. It was really good. Probably actually, even though it's just someone in a bathtub, probably the most grim part of the movie somehow.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
wonder like, what am I not seeing?
Exactly.
Why is her foot
Why is her foot
there?
here?
And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, so then Charlie then decides he's going to call the cops. But as he gets on the phone, put that phone down.
Yeah.
Here's Hunter.
Yeah.
He's about to go and get at him with a knife, but he manages to fend him off with a chair, doesn't he? And gets outside. When they get outside, Charlie frees the dog, who then attacks Hunter for a
Good
while.
boy.
Good boy, but he's done his job, but he obviously doesn't last, does he? Doesn't
No,
last.
poor thing.
And also, Charlie then finds his car's been trashed, so he can't just get out of there. So he ends up running into
through
the
like
woods.
the woods or something.
Tries
yeah.
to call the cops again and kind of has these visions of Xena.
His phone dies. I mean, everything's just going wrong for him, isn't it?
Decides to bed down in the woods. And when he wakes up, it's like he's found a bunch of hay because he's made a hay
Yeah,
duvet.
that was quite funny.
Yeah.
He looked like he was just a lump of grass, and then he's like, just
Yeah.
appears.
So now at this point, I just want to talk about Hunter for a second. More specifically, James LeGros, who plays Hunter.
Right.
As I mentioned, he was recast to play Mike, who's the young kid in Phantasm, for the second one, because once the executives got hold of Phantasm, they were like, look, you can't have Reggie, Mike, and everyone. You can only pick one to bring back. So he brings back Reggie, so he had to let go of Mike. And it was James LeGros who, as I said, was recast as Mike. He was recast as Mike. The last two to be in the room as the options to be the new Mike were James LeGros and Brad Pitt. And Don Coscarelli picked James LeGros over a then currently unfamous Brad Pitt. I'd love to see a Phantasm movie starring Brad Pitt. You know, then he'd be really cool. You know, forget Fight Club. Forget all that stuff. Get Interview with the Vampire. Give me Phantasm.
Well, I mean,
Phantasm
I
6 with
actually
Brad Pitt.
think that Brad Pitt is one of the few people who's not only a gorgeous
Sexy.
specimen, but is also
He's
just
a good
really
actor.
good actor.
He is a good actor, yeah, certainly. Is he better than James LeGros, though? Who knows? Who knows, yeah. I'll tell you what, Don Coscarelli certainly thought that James LeGros was a better actor than
or at
Brad
least just
Pitt.
suited it better.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that's
Who
a nice
knows?
little story though for James LeGros, and I was cast over Brad Pitt in Phantasm 2. So have that.
Take that.
Yeah. You might be getting $20 million a movie, but I was picked by Don Coscarelli. After Charlie wakes up from his night underneath
He
the
emerges,
hay in the woods, doesn't seem to be much other hay around, by the way. Just enough to make a duvet for one person. Anyway, he ends up back at either a convenience store or the bar. Is it Zena's
Yeah, I think
bar?
he breaks into Xena's
Breaks
bar.
into Zena's bar, and of course, who's there? Hunter.
He's been waiting all night.
He has been, yeah. And he's got Charlie on the ground. He's got him where he wants him, but Charlie's saying to him, look, I've called my wife Shirley. I've told her all about this. She knows what's going on. There's no way you're ever going to get away with this. And
Yeah.
Hunter's like, well, actually, I called your wife because it was her that hired me to kill you.
So you're saying you saw that coming? Because I did not.
I didn't necessarily see that coming. I just thought it was pretty stupid, considering the way that he comes across Hunter in the first place. Oh, he's just on the side of the road, and it's like, oh yeah, they know. Oh, don't worry, Charlie will definitely stop for you at the side of the road, and he will definitely drive you to this place and that place. And that was just completely unbelievable.
Yeah, when he doesn't actually seem like he always would. Yeah, okay.
That was dumb.
That I get, but I didn't see it coming because, like you said, it doesn't really make sense.
But it's good that I didn't see it coming. But then, yeah.
And also, like, why? If that was the case, then wouldn't Hunter have just like done it sooner?
The whole point I
Why
didn't see
wait?
it coming is because it was stupid, because of the way that it's been built up.
Okay.
Okay, it's completely unbelievable. It's dumb. It completely takes away
I guess I'll give you that.
any kind of.
And it turns out not only was it his wife, it was also his colleague Willie.
Yeah, so Willie, Michael McKean,
They both want that insurance money.
the one at the bar, who was like, oh, you're getting divorced anyway. You were going to go to Reno, just go there and have a good time. It was him, like you say, who approached Hunter first in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter then says, yeah, it turns out you've got a nice insurance premium on you. And they both want it. And by the way, Willie, he's been doing Nancy Allen, your wife.
Awful, right?
All this time, yeah, no wonder. Charlie is so put upon.
Yeah, Hunter is a bit of an idiot because he had such a long opportunity window to like just get it done with once he was picked up, and he just didn't.
He's not a very good hitman, is he?
No.
I mean, he's ballsed up a
He's
few
really
times.
ballsed it up.
He absolutely
And
has.
also, there's no reason to off the other people, like the motel owner or Xena. Like, he's just done more than he needed to for no reason, and he's just put himself in more hot water.
Hunter's about to, finish his mission, but once again, who turns up just in the nick of time? Officer Jamie Kennedy. And of course, Charlie's happy to see him. He's like, thank God you're here. He's like, no, you're both under arrest because I don't know who to trust. So this is a bit of a funny scene because you've got Jamie Kennedy doing his classic kind of like comedy thing of like, both of you, you're under arrest. Then you got William Forsythe bringing the gravitas where he's like, shoot him. And you got James LeGros just like, he's doing a very strange performance, but it works.
Yeah, okay, this was the one bit where Charlie was a bit annoying to me because I was like, you're never going to get anywhere by yapping at a cop. Just be as compliant as possible and you're more likely to get your point across.
Do you think it was a purposeful parallel here where you've got Jamie Kennedy with two characters who are like, no, it's him, shoot him. He's
No,
like,
I
no,
don't
he's
think
gone
so.
crazy. Whereas in Scream, it's obviously him and Stu who are running out to Nev Campbell trying to say, he's gone crazy.
It's a cute theory, but no, I don't think so, not at all.
Had to put it out there. Very Scream. Yeah, so Hunter disarms Officer Jamie Kennedy because he's stalling, isn't he? He stalls too much. He takes the gun out of his hand, knocks him down, gets the gun, Charlie runs off. Hunter tries to shoot him as he runs off. But he manages to get away. He gets into a truck, but it's low on gas. Very low on gas.
You got no gas.
Yeah, and he starts driving down the road. He doesn't get very far before the cop car comes. Once again, when this cop car was behind him, I was like, it's so obviously going to be Hunter.
Yes, to us as a movie viewer, it's super obvious. But I did understand him being like, oh, I'll pull over and explain and hopefully get help from this
I'm
cop.
not talking about what for from Charlie's point. I'm just talking as a viewer's point of view. I was like, if I know what's coming, I know it's going to be him.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know if that was supposed to be a surprise
very
though,
well. Because once Charlie then does stop, Hunter gets out of the car in Jamie Kennedy's full get-up.
he looked really dumb in that.
He did look dumb, right, with his massive beard and all that, right? So then, of course, Charlie drives away again.
Yeah.
In his haste, he kind of goes up the side of the road and stuff like this, but he stops at 2 workmen. He lets them know there's someone after me.
He crashes, doesn't he? Yeah.
Someone after me, he crashes. The 2 workmen tend to him. Someone's after me. We've got to stop him. Blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to run away kind of into the woods. Next thing you know, the 2 workmen are approached by Hunter, who gets out of his cop car. Now, it's so obvious that Hunter is not a cop just because of that massive beard. A cop would never be allowed to have that. That's another thing I found stupid.
Would they
It's
not?
like, this cop
He's not in the army.
doesn't look anything like a cop.
I didn't think cops had like.
I'm pretty sure
rules like
highwaymen. He looks like a down and out, homeless man. It's so obvious that he's not a cop.
I don't know. He's turned up in a cop car, full uniform. He's speaking with authority.
It's another stupid point in the movie where Charlie should have been, look, this guy disguised himself as a cop.
I agree with that, but
Yeah.
at least he didn't hang around, because then I was like, oh, if he hangs around, they're just going to be like, but this guy's a cop, so you must be bad.
Anyway, Hunter, he enlists the 2 workmen to go and find Charlie in the woods. Charlie, though, managed to knock one out.
Yeah.
Right? Then another one comes at him with a shovel, manages to get him as well. He's kind of like liking this, isn't he? KO's one, and he kicks the crap out of the second one, the one guy with the shovel.
Well, like you said, he's a big guy, and he's finally letting loose.
Manages to get hold of Hunter and stabs him multiple times and gets away. Hunter, though, manages to find his way to like a log cabin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets in there, plonks down on the couch, I guess, trying to recover from
worse
his stab
for wear.
wounds or something.
Absolutely.
But now roles are reversed, and we've got Charlie who's come in with a gun, and now he's like, I'm going to kill you. And Hunter's like, let's make a deal, which is what Charlie had said before.
He's like, why do you think I'm going to make a deal with you? Because now Charlie's reinvigorated. He's invigorated by life after
He
realising
loves
that, getting into a fight isn't going to hurt him so much. In fact, it makes him feel alive, having a few, cuts and bruises and things like that. But again, he talks far too long. Yap.
Yeah.
Ends up getting disarmed again. Hunter runs outside, but it's not long before Charlie manages to get to him again and gets pretty grim here.
Yeah, he does what the Hitcher movie was, threatening.
It gets stupid first because...
He uses the condom, fills it up with gasoline,
Yeah,
then he
because
chucks it on Hunter.
there's a propane tank outside the log cabin.
Mm-hmm.
But before we're shown that, we just see Charlie come out the woods with a ballooned up condom filled with liquid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
Okay, so we saw the
It's
propane
stupid.
thing, and I thought, okay, he's gonna somehow lure Hunter by the propane thing and shoot it, and it will blow up. I wasn't expecting him to fill a condom with propane and water balloon him with it.
Yeah, water balloons him with it and then sets him alight. And again, when he's set alight, he's engulfed in flames and Hunter's just standing there like, are you gonna end it? I mean, done. So then he does it, blows him away. Now it gets even more stupid, right? We've just seen Charlie off Hunter in the woods. We're now a little bit further down the road in terms of time, let's say a couple of weeks or something like this. I've got to assume that Charlie's just been hiding out in the woods or something like this because he's a new man. He's probably staying in the log cabin now because he's taken almost the identity
No, well, we know where
of
he
Hunter.
ends up, don't we, later. But carry on.
So, we're at home now. Willie, Michael McKean, is living, domestic life with Nancy Allen, Shirley.
They don't seem very happy together, though, do they?
No,
so I'm
they're,
like, well,
they're
that
not
was
too
pointless,
happy.
wasn't it?
There's like a knock at the door or whatever, or the postman's come. So Nancy Allen, being a very annoying kind of wife type, is like, go and check out. We're waiting for the insurance payout. Go and see if it's come. So
why didn't you just go herself? Like,
so
seriously.
because Willie's watching the golf, isn't he? All she's doing is drinking herself stupid in the kitchen. But Willie goes outside, goes to the post box, and he said there isn't the insurance payout there, but there is a package quite a large package, comes inside, it's like, oh, we didn't get the insurance payout, but look, there's this package, it's addressed to both of us. And that's like, oh, I wonder what it could be. They open it, the camera shows from the package's point of view, looking up at them, it's a bomb!
Timed to the exact right moment as well, like, they picked it up and opened it just at the right moment. I guess I can
Charlie's
say that
fashioned a bomb.
Charlie knew that they were expecting a check. So
How does Charlie know how to make a bomb?
He's a bad man.
After they'd been blown to smithereens.
And now we see where Charlie is.
We're now in a casino because, as we know,
exactly.
Charlie's whole reason for going to Reno is he's a bit of a blackjack, bit of a winner at blackjack. He's really good at it apparently compared to what we're told through dialogue. And he's sitting there and he's absolutely killing Jason Simmons from Baywatch, who is the dealer, at his own game of blackjack, winning. This like nice lady takes notice of the fact that Charlie's winning, and she's like, "What's your secret?" And he goes, "Killer instinct." Dumb. Super stupid.
I love this. This is so funny. Normally, I'm the one who's sitting here moaning about how stupid stuff is, and you're laughing. This is, I think, the first time actually where it's the other way around.
It was stupid and dumb, but like I said, I did still enjoy it. The performances were good.
Would you watch it again?
But the writing, yeah, I would. I actually think this would be a good sleepy. Yeah. I've talked about sleepies before if you've watched our horror collection video. Just movies that I put on, not necessarily if I like them or not, just they send me to sleep. This would work for that. Nice darkly lit in places, things like this. But yeah, this was dumb. This was really dumb. It was a TV movie style, but it was the actors that made it super enjoyable. I'll admit it, alright? I watched this twice. First time was Without You. And about 2/3 of the way through the movie, I already watched The Hitcher, already watched Highway to Hell. And in my head I said to myself, why am I enjoying this so much, even though I know that it's totally dumb and I'm predicting absolutely everything. I can't make sense of it. Maybe I need to go to therapy. But look, in good conscience, I could not put this above The Hitcher. Alright?
I have no conscience.
Yeah, you said you have no conscience, but yeah, there's just something about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is something about it.
Maybe it is purely just the cast.
There is something about it which is, just enticing, I guess.
It kept me intrigued throughout the whole thing, so yeah.
I'm going to keep banging on about it, but yeah, maybe James LeGros is a better actor than Brad Pitt because really committed to this. Everyone's a fan of William Forsythe, so yeah, I've got nothing really bad to say about it apart from it is dumb. I mean, it is dumb.
It is dumb.
It's dumb.
But so is Highway to Hell.
Yeah, but that's purposefully dumb. This one takes itself seriously. This is a film that takes itself seriously, and
okay, well, you really like that, road rage movie.
Road rage
Candy
movie.
Cane.
Joyride.
That's taking itself seriously, and that's dumb.
Yeah, nowhere near as dumb as this though.
I think it's dumb.
Killer Instinct. It's up its own bottom as well, taking itself ultra seriously. Yeah. But still, not a bad week though. And
so if you're a fan of The Highway,
next week, like I say, we've also been around the world a lot on this show. We will be exploring other parts of the world and other parts of the world's cinema next week, so that'll be good.
Ooh. Taking me on holiday for an hour at a time.
Spooky unknown.